A woman who just finished fighting with her husband was about to head back to her parents' house when she discovered in horror that their front door was somehow blocked by a terrifying black wall. The woman thought this was another one of her husband's pranks, so she told him to open it up right away. But her husband was just as confused, because he definitely didn't build this wall. Tim wanted to check the security cameras to see what was happening outside, but the camera feed showed nothing but pitch blackness. Realizing her husband probably wouldn't go to such extremes, Sarah turned and walked toward the living room's floor-to-ceiling windows. After pulling back the curtains, she found those were also blocked by the same eerie black wall. Seeing this, the couple quickly opened every window in the house to check, but without exception they were all blocked. An emotionally overwhelmed Sarah kicked hard at the black wall, but it didn't budge at all. So she quickly grabbed her phone to call friends for help, but now the cell signal inside the house was also blocked by the black wall. Out of options, her husband threw his whole body against it, but it had absolutely no effect. With all the networks in the house completely cut off, they grabbed their phones and started searching everywhere for signal. That's when Tim noticed something strange. When the phone got close to the black wall, it would experience magnetic interference. The closer it got, the stronger the force became. Then his wife came over with a power drill, and without hesitation started drilling into it, but still couldn't cause any damage to the wall. Seeing this, the couple worked together. Even though the drill bit turned red hot from the pressure, it was useless. Then the husband had a bright idea. He took the drill and started drilling areas outside the black wall, but halfway through it got stuck again. This meant the entire house was now completely surrounded by these black walls. They couldn't believe, who could have sealed up an entire house in just one night? Then they heard neighbors talking behind them, so the couple's hopes were renewed. They quickly used the drill to dig into their neighbor's wall, and this time they easily broke through to the other side. Looking through the hole and seeing their neighbor sitting quietly, Sarah quickly called out for help, but what they didn't expect was that their neighbors were facing the exact same situation. The woman said they woke up and found themselves trapped inside. They tried everything but couldn't get out. Sarah told the woman to stay calm. There had to be a way out. At this point, Tim discovered in horror that their water supply had also been cut off. This immediately made Tim panic. Without a water source, they would quickly die of thirst. At this point, Sarah was the first to break down, already full of anger, and now inexplicably trapped in their own home. She started yelling at her husband that if he hadn't spent all night playing that stupid computer game, they wouldn't be trapped in the house unable to get out. Unfairly blamed, Tim didn't choose to stay silent this time. Losing control, he grabbed the phone from the table and threw it. But this accidentally led him to discover a secret. He saw metal fragments from the broken phone stick to the black wall. At this point, his wife apologized to her husband for her unreasonable outburst, but Tim wasn't paying attention to her. Instead, he took the coffee spoon from his wife's hand and pressed it against the wall. Seeing this strange phenomenon, the couple quickly found all the metal objects in the house and placed them all on the wall. They then discovered that 4 spots on the black wall had the strongest magnetic pull. When his wife placed everything in these spots, something terrifying happened. The metal objects on the wall suddenly started moving in an eerie way. Then all flew off, shooting toward the couple. Fortunately, the husband noticed in time and avoided this disaster. Though his back was still badly cut by the knife blades, they also reached a conclusion that this strange black wall could repel all metal objects. At this point, the couple next door suddenly started fighting loudly. They quickly widened the hole they had drilled earlier, and Tim went through first. The neighbor's house was a complete mess, with signs of struggle everywhere. Obviously, there had been an intense fight in the room. Then, Sarah suddenly saw the female neighbor collapsed under the bed. She quickly went over and helped the woman up. As they were leaving, Tim carefully scanned the surroundings. Suddenly, the woman's husband charged out and tackled him to the ground, then grabbed him tightly by the throat. Fortunately, his wife grabbed pepper spray and sprayed it in the man's eyes. Taking advantage of this, Tim knocked him down with a club, but then the man's wife ran over and protected him. It turned out, the struggle in the room earlier wasn't the woman's doing, but the man trying to prevent his wife from getting hurt by mistake. Now figuring out how to escape became everyone's top priority. At this point, Sarah suddenly thought of an idea. She suggested they could try going through the floor. Because this building was constructed at the turn of the century, and the air raid shelter at the bottom was closely connected to the subway system, so this might be their only way to escape. So Tim decisively picked up a sledgehammer and started breaking through the $1 million floor.